Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, and you are taking a live look from one of our many cameras across the Middle East right now that appears to be over Gaza as we do continue to cover the latest on the war between Israel and Hamas. Some news here just coming in as Israel's health ministry claiming Hamas drugged the hostages when they were freed so they would appear, quote, happy. Those claims, which were initially made by the families of the hostages, published in the Times of Israel and the Jerusalem Post, several papers there, saying the ministry told the health committee that the hostages had been given tranquilizer pills before being handed over to the Red Cross for transfer to Israel. The drugging aimed at making those hostages appear calm, happy, and upbeat. I do want to talk more about all of this and the war itself, so let's bring in Avi Hyman, an Israeli government spokesperson, joining us now live to talk about all of it. Avi, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
Hi, Josh. Thanks for having me on.
Of course. Well, first off, what can you tell me about the comments that were made by the health ministry about the drugging of those hostages? Because, again, that is a claim that we did hear from the families of the hostages several days ago as well.
This isn't shocking at all, Josh. We know who we're up against. We're up against a brutal terror organization, Hamas, that on October 7th plowed through our borders, killing, maiming, dismembering, raping. There is not very much that Hamas wouldn't do. We know that, in fact, that some of their terrorists, according to reports, were on drugs themselves so they could, to help them perpetrate the atrocities that they perpetrated. And now, as you said, the health ministry confirmed that as some kind of PR ploy, they drugged those hostages so they would look, a little bit perked up. We've seen the videos of them forcing children to wave as if they're saying bye-bye to grandpa. I mean, we know what you were doing. You are masked monsters with machine guns, holding 9-month-old babies in dungeons underground. There's no way to make that look good.
And the Wall Street Journal now reporting that essentially Israel is ready to pump water, seawater, into those tunnels that Hamas has underneath Gaza. What can you tell me about that?
Josh, to borrow an old line that was used in World War II, we don't want to talk directly about operational activities or plans because that could obviously be a problem on the ground. What I can tell you is what has flooded Gaza in recent years is billions of dollars in aid money that was siphoned off to build those tunnels, to build a massive underground network of tunnels that is being used to attack Israel and to protect those terrorists. We know that Hamas has made it clear that they feel that their people are safe underground. And as far as the civilians, the Gazan civilians, well, the UN and Israel can take care of them. That's what the Hamas leaders are saying. They're also saying that they will perpetrate October 7th again and again and again. That's why our mission is clear, twofold: to destroy Hamas and to release those 240 Israeli hostages.
And you kind of touched on this there, but the U.S. is kind of pushing the importance of making sure that the civilians there in Gaza do stay safe. What is Israel doing to ensure that that is the case?
Israel is taking unprecedented steps to avoid civilian casualties. Our fight is not with the people of Gaza. Our fight is with Hamas. We will do everything in our power to free Gaza from Hamas. And for example, we've been dropping leaflets on Khan Yunis and in places that we're going to attack next. We've distributed maps, very specific maps with numbered areas down to the neighborhood. So we're saying to the people, please step out of the line of fire. If you're in a specific neighborhood, please step out of the line of fire for a short period. Let us take care of Hamas. It's something that the civilians of Gaza want as much as Israel wants, not to be under the rule of Hamas. And then we'll move forward. I believe that the day after Hamas, when all of the numbers are tallied and everything is looked at with real numbers, not the Hamas propaganda, I believe that you'll see that Israel has operated as well, if not better, than all other Western armies in difficult, close combat situations deep within civilian populations. I mean, Hamas's aim is to kill as many Israeli civilians and to see the death of as many Gazan civilians as possible, because it serves their propaganda aims.
And I just read a report moments ago that there were 2 people that were injured by shrapnel there over in Ashkelon after a missile, I guess, kind of passed through that area. My question for you, these sirens that are going off, a lot of people don't seem to realize that, yes, the fighting is happening in Gaza, but also there are missiles that are still being fired at Israel at this hour.
Josh, over 10,000 rockets have been fired from Gaza at innocent Israeli civilians. Indiscriminate. I mean, I can tell you in the last hour, I had to run for shelter when the air raid sirens started in Tel Aviv. And shrapnel landed on a school, a children's school. Now, think about that. Next time you're dropping off your kids at school, that you don't know if a missile or shrapnel could hit their school. This is a reality that nobody can live under. And that's why we're going to go forward to destroy Hamas, to ensure that never again can they perpetrate the atrocities, the likes of which we saw on October 7th. And we will free Gaza from Hamas.
And my last question, I know there's not a lot that can be spoken about this right now, but is another ceasefire deal, a temporary ceasefire or truce, a possibility at this point?
Josh, from day one, we said we demanded the immediate and unconditional release of our hostages. Holding 85-year-old grandparents or 9-month-old babies is a crime against humanity. We said that we would do a temporary humanitarian pause to get out those hostages. That's what you saw in recent days, until Hamas broke that deal, until they stopped giving over men and women and children, until they stopped providing us with lists of the next women and children that they would give. And then they started firing rockets indiscriminately at our people. We're up against Hamas. Our mission is twofold, like I said. We will destroy Hamas, and we'll do everything in our power to free every last hostage. All 240 hostages deserve to be at home with their families, not in Hamas dungeons.
All right, Avi Hyman there, Israeli government spokesperson. Thank you again for taking the time to join us here. Anything else you want to add before I let you go?
Josh, I just want to thank the American government, the American people, for your ongoing support. We hear it, we feel it, and we thank you for it.
All right, thank you again. We really appreciate you taking the time to help break all this down for us.
Thank you.